Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
I had at one point my beard was super long like that, and I was working on food trucks, and I wasn't doing a lot of the cooking at that point because I was just kind of over it, and so I was doing a lot of like register stuff, which I'd rather talk to people anyway. But I wasn't really around the food, so I didn't have to worry about like the hair nets or beard nets or anything. But we were doing something in New Jersey in the parking lot of Six Flags.
Oh.
And we didn't have any New Jersey permits or anything. So they were having someone come out and give temporary permits for all the trucks. And the lady comes to our truck, and it's just like three guys, but I had a beard, whatever. And so they gave us like a citation, and the citation, it just said, one employee has full on beard. It's like, nice.
Yeah. Whenever I go over, cause I work for the school nutrition, whenever I go over to the food production warehouse, because we make all of our food in-house, or as much as we can, I have to wear a hairnet, and I also have to get another hairnet and put it over my face because the beard net doesn't.
Wow.
There's this much beard sticking out from the beard net, so it's like I didn't even bother.
All right, so let's go ahead and give this a shot. That's probably my favorite part.
The yawn to kick things off.
That would be a good compilation to put like at the end of like a season. Just all like the pre-show ahs, or like the.
They're gonna make me yawn.
There we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this a shot. You may know our guest from the Film Strip podcast, as well as his many recap articles for Den of Geeks, or more likely his December 2009 article, Man Strangles Rabid Bobcat. I know him as President Hot Dog. Please welcome Ron Hogan to the podcast. Hi, Ron.
Hey.
Do you remember that article?
Yes, I worked on Pop 5 I still own the website, and I worked on it for a long time before Google took my money away.
That's how they do it. So this is our chat podcast called How You Doin, which I don't say enough in the podcast, so I'm gonna say it one more time. How you doing? And in this podcast, we like to talk to our guests about New York City and Christmas, and just have a good time with them and discuss some things. So we have you on to talk about those things. So the first thing we like to talk about is what we like to call a New York City connection. And we talk about it all the time. It's whether or not you've traveled here before or wanted to travel here, if you've had relatives that lived here or immigrated from other countries to here. There's always this thing that, and we find that when we talk to people, that happens a lot. People will kind of bring this up like, oh, well, my cousin lives there. And it's like, oh, it's awesome. And kind of just like, well, there's millions and millions of people here, so there's a good chance that someone's cousin probably lives here.
Yeah,
I know I have a cousin that lives here. I've never ever seen him.
Oh wow.
Yeah, well, he lives in like Washington Heights, I think, so it's like couldn't be farther from where we are.
Yeah.
Which he might as well live in like in Kuwait or something if he lives in Washington Heights. There's no way I'm going there.
That's pretty far away from you guys, from what little I remember of my New York geography.
Yeah, we live in
it's far.
South Brooklyn, so it's about as far south in Brooklyn as you can get. So we're definitely as far away as possible from him. So I'm sorry, Nick, but probably never gonna see you here.
Yeah,
hey, you don't know. You might meet in the middle somewhere.
I don't know.
It's been a long time. We still haven't, so that's a tough one.
I'll save my Nick stories for later on.
Yeah.
From what I remember, he was a pretty weird kid.
Oh gosh. All right, let's get back to this. All right. Let's talk about, Ron, what is your New York City connection?
Well, I've been to New York 3 times in my life because some friends of ours ended up moving to the city for work-related reasons. He does something I don't understand involving financial programs, and his company has moved him all around the country because before they were in New York, they were in Alaska.
Oh, wow.
So he basically goes to these cities, states, etc., and does like this whatever this mystery software is. Um, it all sounds a little. The cats are going crazy. It all sounds a little. It's a little Superman 3 for me. The way he describes it, but they moved to Manhattan, and then they moved to Brooklyn, to downtown Brooklyn, just across the Brooklyn Bridge, because he worked at the city government center right on the other side of the Brooklyn Bridge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a Borough Hall area.
Yeah, he worked at Borough Hall, like in the actual the big building, and he had to be within like walking distance of his work because he would have to go in no matter what.
Right.
So every time it was like snowing or raining or whatever, he had to be able to just pick up and go in if they needed him.
Nice. So. We lived over there when we first moved here in that same area, and I worked around that area too. So I hung out by Borough Hall quite often for lunches and stuff. It's a beautiful area.
Yeah, it was a cool building, and it was cool to like, because we would like one of the first things we did when we got to New York in 2017 was he was like, let's go see where I work. I was like, okay, whatever. We're gonna go see some anonymous building, but no, it was a really cool building, and so we left their apartment in downtown Brooklyn, and we just literally walked to the Brooklyn Bridge and then walked across the Brooklyn Bridge. It was a lot of walking.
Yeah,
it's a ton of walking here, but that's a really good day.
It's also an incline hit a lot of good stuff. You don't hear too much about that. Like obviously there's a downward, but you have to walk up to go down. So
yeah, that took me by surprise. I just figured New York was flat everywhere.
There's some hills, especially when you get up north a little bit, like the Bronx area. There's some nice hills out there. But I
didn't get to the no, I did get to the Bronx, but not on purpose. But I was there.
Yeah,
I missed the stop I was going to get off.
That happens quite often.
I feel like the Bronx is one of those places that maybe on your like 5th or 6th trip, you say like, well, maybe I'm going to go take a look at the Bronx and see what like Anthony Bourdain was talking about or something. But like for the most part, you don't need to go to you don't even really need to come to Brooklyn, honestly. But if you want to, obviously you're more than welcome to it. But I think mostly all the fun stuff, especially the Christmas stuff, is all in Manhattan, where people think New York City is anyway. So
I loved Brooklyn at Christmas time.
Yeah,
because they lived at right there at Metrotech. So they had that little courtyard or whatever, that whole little strip was all decorated for Christmas. There. Yeah, and they had somebody brought live reindeer.
Oh, cool!
So like the Friday before we left, got to go pet a reindeer. That was fun. I never expected that to happen in Brooklyn.
We lived actually right there. That's funny.
Yeah, we used to go to that Five Guys. I'm not sure if Five Guys is even there anymore, but Five Guys in Metrotech. It was like the first restaurant that popped up when we moved there because there was anything around.
There, yeah.
We moved into one of these obnoxious high rises that was right on the other side of the Manhattan Bridge, and there was like nothing at all. There wasn't even a grocery store. Our first Thanksgiving, I had no idea. Like I thought you just went to like bodegas and like you would just hope that you could find like something.
Find a turkey.
And then afterwards, like we see all these like actual grocery stores, and like, man, we had the weirdest first Thanksgiving.
Yeah. We'd only been here like less than a month at that point, so we really weren't acclimated quite yet. But it took some time. But yeah, that area is really nice. It's you'd be really surprised at what it looks like now. I work over in that area too, a little bit farther towards the water, but it's completely changed in that area. But a lot of really cool, crazy things in that shopping center, basically.
Yeah, it was great because it was like right down I was literally like a block away from the Alamo Draft House. So if I wanted to go see a movie, I would just walk over there. The Target's over there. I went down to Atlantic Avenue to the Barclays Center because I'm obsessed with this Japanese clothing company, Uniqlo.
Yep. Yeah, they have that at the Atlantic Center.
I got hooked on their like socks. And so I've made a point to go every time I've gone back because it's like, oh, I love their socks. I love their t-shirts, just the plain, boring fat guy clothes.
That's funny. Yeah, that's a really nice area. Where you said the Alamo Draft House is, and it's called a City Point. There's a new statue of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and that's where it's located now. So it's like a pretty big thing that there's a statue of her here, and it's going to be in City Point. So you've been to that location. That's where she's going to be now.
That's
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I
There
just
was
remember
also
there was a weird sculpture of an alligator or something coming out of a manhole.
Oh yeah.
And my friend's dog was terrified of it and would bark at it every time she saw it.
I remember that. Yeah, that's the Metro Tech area.
Yeah, the Ivy, the sheepdog, hated that gator.
There was also, for a time, it's not there anymore, but the Barclay Center, they had this I guess larger than life size Captain America statue that was on this, like, the pillar, or like the column it's on is probably 7 feet tall, and it's another probably 7 feet. It's huge, and like they had it on display there for a while, like with like a plaque that said like, "I'm just a kid from Brooklyn and Captain America," and whatever, like the first time he came out or whatever. And I made a point to go over there to check it out. It's like, oh, this is really cool. And now it's in a like weird like mall in like 5 minutes from our apartment.
Yeah, it's like a Bed Bath and Beyond themed mall kind of thing. Like it has really like weird World Market, like all things like owned by that company in this one little spot. It's in Sunset Park over there. And yeah, it's just a really strange spot to move this amazing looking statue.
That's crazy.
It's kind of like our own private little thing. We like to go in and be like, yep, this is our statue over here. It's not a lot of people around.
That's my favorite thing about the Captain America movie. They had to change where he was from.
Yeah.
Because somebody growing up in the Lower East Side isn't as poor as it used to be.
Right.
No.
All right.
So
go ahead, Chris. Sorry.
Go ahead.
So let's keep moving on. We started talking, about the things that we do here in the city, but we like to hear about what's happening where you're from and the kind of traditions that happen in this little section we call Christmas time in your city. So let us know, are there parades? Do they do certain lightings of trees? Where are you from, and what are your traditions there?
Well, I am born and raised in Louisville, Kentucky. That's how you say it. If you say more than like one syllable, you've said it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. There's all kinds of stuff that they do. They have an entertainment district downtown that used to be a mall that like Cordish Company took over, and so they light that whole area up downtown 4th Street Live. It gets lit up. They put up a big Christmas tree in front of the courthouse in that area. There's a big plaza. They put the Christmas tree up there. They do at least 2 Christmas parades that I can think of. Louisville is very much a city where every neighborhood kind of does its own thing. So like the area I live is the Highlands / Irish Hill. So like the Highlands will have a Christmas parade, and they do Bardstown Road Aglow, where all the businesses decorate, and there's like cocktail competitions, and everybody stays open late, and there's special food, and street musicians play, and everybody just wanders up and down the street. The next neighborhood over, Nulu, they do their own thing. I forget what they call it, but it's like Jingle Fest or something. But they do the same thing. About a mile that direction, Frankfurt Avenue does their Christmas thing. So every little like neighborhood in Louisville has its own like weird Christmas tradition.
Do you visit all of them through the Christmas time, or do you stick with like your own little town?
I usually do. I usually do the ones that I can walk to. So that would be Bardstown Road Aglow, and that would be Nulu Jingle Fest or whatever it is. I wish I could remember the name, but I go to the ones I can walk to. And actually, the Nulu one kind of is one of the things that kind of awakened my Christmas spirit, so to speak. Because after my dad died in 2016, I basically, what little Christmas spirit I had was just gone, because he died January 5th, 2016. So like right after Christmas, he passed away. So that kind of killed it for me for a while. But actually going to New York, and I've told this story on 'Tis the Podcast on my Fireside Chat, so cheap plug for those guys. That and going to New York and then going to Nulu and getting a hot chicken sandwich and wandering around, kind of because they do a Christmas themed pop up bar in Nulu called Miracle on Market.
Oh, nice.
So they sell overpriced Christmassy drinks and glassware and stuff, and I have several pieces of the glassware because it's fun to drink out of Santa Claus head or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the kind of cheesy stuff that kind of gave me Christmas spirit again after literally a year without a Christmas.
Right. Well, that's great. I'm glad that it brought the Christmas spirit back. That's awesome. Thank you for letting us know a little bit about Christmas in your city.
Very welcome.
Great. So now that all the introductions are out of the way, we know who you are. Let's play some games.
All right.
Great. So the first game we have is Neighborhood Watch. I do not have a theme song for it or any jingle. I'm still working on it. No, I was not actively working on it.
No, he's not working on it.
I'm thinking about it.
You should do. I think you should do the theme from Police Squad.
Oh,
play like a 5 or 10 second clip, because all you need is like that, da 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 da, and then you cut in like, "This is Neighborhood Watch." I don't know.
Oh, that's nice.
That's what I would do.
I wonder how I can edit that in so it sounds like it's my idea.
Well, Chris was telling me about this great idea he had. Just cut that out and punch that in front of the other.
Everyone just heard the song playing. That was the intro song. Anyway. So here we are, Neighborhood Watch. The condensed version of this game, which I'll have to figure out, more or less is there's an app called Citizen, which breaks down and gives you notifications when anyone calls 911 or has a type of issue or emergency in your neighborhood. So you can kind of dial it into where you are specifically or check out other areas. Like I'm sure like my parents probably have it set to our exact address and freak out when anything ever happens. But yeah, so like there's a lot of horrible things that happen, which I usually don't look at, but there are some fun things that I write down and jot down for just this occasion. So we're going to play a game here, and it's called Neighborhood Watch. The way it works,
will interrupt with a brief story, but one of the most fun nights I've had was listening to the Police Scanner. I can't remember what it was, 2014 or so, probably before that. Someone put out posters that said Louisville was the Louisville Purge, and it was just somebody put like the people from the Purge in this poster and put it up all over town. So
that's terrifying.
On this specific night, everybody was like, "There's going to be a purge." So like, we're all just sitting around like police scanners and stuff, and I'm sitting there with my wife, and we're just listening to it. And there's like, naked man breaks into convenience store, steals 6-pack of Mike's Hard Lemonade type things happening. Someone driving down the street, hanging out of a sunroof, screaming, "It's the purge! It's the purge!" And nothing actually happened, but like the ridiculous things that no one paid attention to were just all over the place. So I'm gonna have to see if there's this app in my neck of the woods.
Yeah, I believe they probably have it. I bet you could look. You just put in like your like zip code or something. So it's called Citizen.
Yeah. Citizen. Okay.
It's very similar to the things that you're saying. So you're gonna be pretty good at this game, I think.
Yeah,
we'll see.
So the way it works is I'm gonna read 3 notifications. One notification is one that I made up, and then 2 other ones are actual notifications that I, as well as other people in my neighborhood or New York City in general, received on their phones. And your job is to pick which one is not real. Again, I'm working on a more condensed version of that description, but
it's 2 truths and a lie, but for crazy shenanigans.
Yes. Great. I'll just copy and paste that in next to my drop folder on the computer is going to be nuts. I'm just going to have all these weird things like Police Squad, Ron Explains the Neighborhood Watch. All right. So number 1, Frito-Lay truck burglarized. Irate man bit horse. And report of armed dispute, tiger in apartment.
Okay, so man bites horse sounds incredibly realistic, being from horse country. So that does not surprise me at all. We also have a big Frito-Lay distributor here. But there are also people who keep a lot of weird pets. Like the last time I went to New York, I got to go by myself, and I went to Coney Island, and there was a guy walking a pig on a leash.
Yeah.
And here we have a guy who walks a giant African tortoise on a leash through
Cool.
downtown. So I'm going to say that the Frito-Lay truck getting robbed is the fake story.
And you are incorrect.
The real story that really happened. It was burglarized. The fake story is irate man bit horse.
Oh. People just don't know my life.
I like that you made it real, though.
They just never report those crimes.
Yeah.
So.
Horses don't know how to use the app.
That's true. That's true. Number 2, man practicing karate in Taco Bell Express. Deli worker and customer dispute over bacon, egg, and cheese. And man stealing crane.
I'm going to say that the Taco Bell Express karate practice is the fake one. Although I don't know who would call the police over a bacon, egg, and cheese. I think they would just yell at each other. And I don't remember what the third one was already, but it sounded completely plausible to me. So we're going to go the man stealing the crane. So we're going to go with the bacon, egg, and cheese dispute as the fake one.
Oh, man, you should have stuck with your gut feeling.
Oh, no.
It was the practicing karate in Taco Bell Express. You knew it. You knew it, and you changed it at the last minute. That argument probably got pretty heated. That's my my guess.
Yeah, people here don't mess around with their sandwiches. So I could see, like, if the egg's not, there was a place around the corner from us that I ordered a bacon, egg, and cheese, and the egg was just like one fried egg, which is not how you do a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich. And I never went there again, and they shut down, and I was so happy.
Well, they deserved it.
Yeah, it's the easiest thing to do, and it's probably one of the most common things they get. And to mess it up that hard was just incredible. And it was like maybe one piece of bacon.
Oh no,
nuts.
Yeah,
that won't fly.
No,
it's a good riddance to them.
Yeah, you can't have a majority bread on your ratios. You know, it's got to be nice and equal.
So now it's another taco restaurant, which we have so many taco options.
We do have a lot of taco places, and we love every single one of them.
I was going to ask, are they good?
Yeah,
they're pretty really good.
Okay,
they're pretty good now. We finally got a birria taco spot around us, which is one like you see on Instagram where they like dip it in like the red like juice and fat.
Yeah,
it's so good. It's crazy.
It's really good.
We got a birria. We've got a couple places here that do birria tacos now, so that's cool.
Yeah,
and one place does birria ramen.
Ooh,
where they just cook the ramen in the red juice.
I would be down for that.
It's top notch. It's great.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on to number 3. Report of woman weaponizing chopsticks. Skateboarders scaring passerbys with snakes. And raw meat obstructing traffic on Interstate 278. Otherwise known as, the Brooklyn Queens Expressway, or BQE. But yeah. So raw meat, snakes, chopsticks.
I'm gonna go with snakes. That seems very likely, but also seems like in a place like New York, nobody's really gonna care. I can definitely see the raw meat thing happening, and chopsticks. I mean, I think that's just what everyone does with chopsticks.
At some point, everyone weaponizes chopsticks.
So your answer is snakes.
Yes.
That is incorrect.
Oh, I'm over life today.
Oh no.
This may be the most impossible game to win. So
it is. They're all the same.
They're all
when
just
I
crazy.
when I listened to the episode, or rather, I watched the video of the episode with Art, I did better with his questions. So maybe I'm just choking under the pressure.
It
Yeah,
might be.
maybe.
It's
That's
like
how
my
it is
Jeopardy
when-
audition all over again.
Oh no, we won't get you started with that.
So which one was fake, Chris?
The fake one was the raw meat obstructing traffic on Interstate 278, the BQE.
Mm.
Oh,
It would have had
my.
to have been a lot of raw meat, but
Yeah, I saw a YouTube video from a comedian that we're familiar with. He did something like he's a weird guy, but I'll post the video, I'll post the link in our website. But he goes out on the BQE and like I guess he found some raw meat on the side of the road, and he was like playing with it and screaming about like Alex Jones or something. Like it's,
Yeah, I think it was that.
I don't remember the
That's pretty
context,
good.
but it was something
And I'm
pretty
sure it
crazy.
obstructed traffic, but nobody called it in.
Yeah, so that was where the
So that
inspiration for
actually
that
did
came from.
happen here, but it wasn't called in.
It was the
Nobody
person that
cared.
was recording a YouTube video next to the raw meat that obstructed the traffic.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, that's a tough one. So don't be hard on yourself. It's more just for fun.
Now, I do have a good story that you should use, because I did call the police on someone when I was in New York in 2018.
Really?
Yes.
Oh
But
no.
I don't know if I should tell you on air or not, because you may want to actually use it. But I was at the boardwalk at it was either Coney Island or Rockaway Beach. I went to both of them that year, because where else would you go in October but the beach? But there was a guy in his. Okay, this story is not going to be especially family friendly, so I'm sorry, but a guy in his underwear with a visible erection walking around the beach, and he would stop and he would lay down and have grind on the sand, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
Go out to the surf, come back out, go another 20 feet down, repeat again. And when I don't tend to be a call the police sort of guy, but then when he got near some kids and started to do that, I was like, all right, I'm gonna my southern guilt is kicking in, and I'm gonna have to call somebody.
Right.
But it turns out he was what's the politically correct term? He was not functioning at 100%. If you understand where I'm going with that.
Yep.
When he stopped to talk to some other people, I was like, oh, no, I feel both good and guilty, because like he clearly doesn't know any better, but
right,
someone should tell him to know better.
Right. Well, yeah, there should be services out there, and I think that's like the goal here.
Like escort services or
services to help people that are mentally unstable that need assistance.
Escort
So
services.
I think that's what we're aiming for.
And he wasn't like in distress, and he didn't actually like talk to the kids or mess with the kids in any way. But it was like you got a little too close to like a 10-year-old girl in a bathing suit for my comfort. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She don't need to see that. I don't need to see that.
Right.
I mean, maybe it's my fault for going to the beach in October, but
Well, those kids probably shouldn't have been on the beach in their bathing suits in October either.
It was like 75. It was okay.
Oh, okay.
It was unseasonably warm, because
that's what I'm thinking.
That's been the every time I've gone to New York, it's been miserably hot, or at least unseasonably warm.
Well, I think it's supposed to snow tomorrow, so our seasons are all messed up.
Yeah, well, except for the last day I was there in 2017 for my Christmas trip. We got 8 or 9 inches of snow. It kicked up an actual blizzard, and we got stuck at LaGuardia Airport, which is the worst possible airport.
Oh, that's not good.
For like 5 hours, where our flight kept getting delayed and delayed and delayed.
Oh no!
But I learned my lesson the last time I went to Newark, and jumped on the ferry at not Liberty Point, but one of those stops in North Jersey. I
Mhm.
got the ferry and took the ferry across. I got to see the city coming across from the New Jersey side, and that was really cool.
Nice. That's a really good idea.
Yeah, whatever way you get here that doesn't involve LaGuardia is the way to come to New York City.
Yeah. You did it the right way.
I wholly recommend. I saw it online. Somebody suggested to do that. I was like, I'm flying to Newark. I can get a $10 Uber to Liberty Point and then take the $8 to take
Yeah.
the ferry past the thing and just sit out and breathe fresh air and have a hot dog while
Yeah.
I ride on a boat.
I love ferries here. I used to take them a lot basically before this, but and one just opened up right by my work, but it just makes too many stops to get home. It'd probably take me like an hour and a half to get home. But it's still like one of those things like, oh, but then I get to ride on a boat all like for an hour and a half and just kind of cruise.
Well,
On nice days. It's so nice.
That's what I did for when I went to Rockaway, because I was like, I jumped on the ferry at the Brooklyn Bridge
Mhm.
adjacent stop, and it goes all the way around to Rockaway.
Yeah.
And I was on there for like an hour, but I just kicked my feet up because nobody else was riding it,
It's
and I was
so
on
nice.
top, so the wind was blowing, and I was just
Mhm.
taking pictures of Coney Island as I went past it and all that stuff, and that was a blast.
Yeah. You passed our stop. We live close to the ferry stop too. Nice. All right. So moving on. Chris, do you want to intro this next section?
Sure. Are you doing it or am I doing it?
You can do it.
Oh, I'm doing it. Great. Fantastic. In that case, we'll edit that part out.
I mean, I could do it if you want.
That's
I'm
fine, I
sorry.
got it. No, I got
I
it.
forgot you just did the one before.
I was just
Okay.
enjoying the talk.
Okay.
So our next game is called the Honorary New Yorker Quiz. This is a quiz based on terms and protocol in New York City. We're going to ask you 3 things that New Yorkers know, and we'll see if you could make it here. Because as they say, if you can make it here, you can do anything.
Yeah, I think Alicia Keys had a whole song about it.
Yeah. So the first question is, what is a chopped cheese?
Oh, that's easy. It's a bunch of mystery meat chopped up on a grill with a bunch of cheese on it. You melt the cheese onto the meat to make a weird congealed mess, and then you put it on a bun and eat it.
You got it. That is
All
exactly what a chopped cheese
right.
is.
Ding, ding, ding,
We
ding.
actually have a place here, literally like 2 miles from my house, that the only thing they really do is chopped cheese. So it's started to spread out everywhere. Except they do theirs with veal, which
Oh, they're
one-
very
that's
fancy.
yeah, but it's still like $5 on Tuesday.
Not too fancy, I guess.
No, $20 will get you your choice of a chopped cheese with ground round or with a round or veal, cocktail, or a beer and a shot. And there was something else that went with it, but I've forgotten. So
That's a fun little combo.
That sounds like a great night.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's a pretty great place.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right. So then our next one is, in the early 1960s, during the height of the Cuban Missile Crisis, how many buildings in New York City had fallout shelters?
Ooh.
And you get like triple points if you can get it exact. And the points are not redeemable for anything.
Oh, no cash or prizes?
No
Man,
cash or prizes.
328.
Incorrect.
I mean, obviously.
Yeah. You're pretty far off. The
Yeah.
actual number is 17,448 approximately, many of which
Wow.
still exist today and are now used as laundry rooms or building storage. More or less any room in a basement of an apartment building that didn't have window access, that they would use as fallout shelters. You can still see on a lot of buildings, they have the little signs on the side of the building for like fallout shelter inside. But I believe they're taking them all down now, or they're in the process of, because they're not really fallout shelters anymore. Like I'm sure our super probably just keeps like his old furniture down there or something.
Yeah, I don't think it's used as a fallout shelter. But technically our building was one of them.
So
Which
we
is
would be
cool.
safe if we could get down outside and then back into our basement.
Yeah.
The only way you can get into the basement is by going outside
Yeah, which is probably not what you want to do.
Yeah, run outside while the bombs are falling.
Right.
It's totally safe.
Probably not a good idea. All right. Well, yeah, that one was a tough one.
Clearly.
Although I did guess pretty good when Chris asked me that question. I was pretty proud of myself. I was only off by a couple thousand. So I felt pretty proud about it.
She didn't need to do that. She didn't need to tell you that.
I did need to tell you I
No,
was
she
proud about
did.
it.
Wow.
I was pretty excited about it.
Yeah, just rub it in, you know.
Oh, sorry.
All right. Moving on. In terms of land area, what's the correct order of the boroughs from largest to smallest?
Hmm.
There are 5 boroughs that make up New York City. If I told you, that might give them away, or so I'll let you.
No, I know all 5 boroughs.
Great.
I've
So,
been to all of them.
Yeah.
in terms of land area,
All right, so I'm going to say Queens, then Brooklyn, then the Bronx, then Manhattan, then Staten Island.
Oh, I feel like you have to get most points for that because you mixed up Staten Island and Manhattan. Manhattan's actually the smallest. So you were very close. I feel like you did really well there.
I think I deserve a few points for that.
I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah.
yeah. So in terms of size, Queens is the largest. Brooklyn has the most people though, at over 3 million. So that's the most populated of the boroughs.
Yeah, I would have thought Brooklyn was bigger because I'm thinking population, it should be bigger in mass. But yeah, the land mass is Queens. You were right. So you got that one over me. See, I'm not bragging.
Well, all I know about Staten Island is took the ferry across, got off, then turned around and went back.
That's all you need. That's all you need.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry, Staten Island.
Yeah.
It's okay. They know they're New Jersey.
They might as I don't want to get into it. Sorry, everyone. I'm gonna cut that part out. Let's do one more question. How many breweries are currently in New York City?
Ooh.
I'll give you a hint. There are 320 in New York State.
Now, is every place that makes its own beer considered a brewery? Or do they have to have like commercial distribution?
From what I remember in the information that I got it from, it was a brewery website. So I think whatever you think a brewery would answer, or brewery website would answer, would be the correct. So I'm assuming it's probably a place with some type of distribution.
Okay.
I would think so too.
115.
It's not crazy to think that, but there are significantly less. There are 43.
Yeah. I was surprised by that one. I thought there was more too.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume that there would be more.
Yeah, because there's so many small ones like you're thinking. Like I kind of got where you were headed with that. But even the small ones, they do distribution to the local grocery stores and stuff. But yeah, I definitely thought there was more than 43 too.
I mean, we have 30 here.
Yeah.
And that's not even counting distilleries.
Right.
I would wonder if a majority of the breweries that we assume are New York City breweries are actually brewed upstate or Long Island, I guess, which isn't technically New York City.
Yeah, there are some over in
I
Long
could
Island.
definitely see that being the case.
Yeah.
Right.
So as far as that website was concerned, there are 43. So.
Oh, right. I think you did really well. Yay.
That was okay.
We think you're an honorary and New York City citizen. We're giving it to you.
Is that just because I threw a pizza at a rat one time? I didn't actually do that. I never saw any rats when I was there.
Really?
Which was sad. I wanted to see a rat.
The full experience. Yeah, they're here.
You should come now. They're definitely out and about because not as many people are out. So the rats came out to play.
I used to work in food trucks, and at the parking lots where they would park the food trucks, the commissaries, and do all their prep and stuff, there would just be like piles and piles of garbage bags. And it was in a really dark, kind of like shady area. of like Gowanus area of Brooklyn, and it was kind of disgusting. There were rats. I'm not even kidding when I say it, like the size of like small dogs. And it sounds like an exaggeration that someone would say. No, it's absolutely like they would be inside the garbage bags, and they would start to scurry, and I would see like whole garbage bags move from the rats like trying to claw out of them, like moved like 4 or 5 feet. Just like,
wow,
I can't work here anymore.
It's crazy. Oh.
Yeah. So there are everywhere. Rats, but
I mean, yeah,
you kind of get used to them. Like there's a lot on my walk to work from the train, and they would like this one road. I feel like they just always like ran out in front, and it got to the point where it's just like, all right, like you just don't think about it because they don't really bother you. They run out, and it kind of like startles you for a second because something runs out of whatever it's coming from. But you kind of just get used to it. It's just part of being here. I like how, in the country, people are used to bugs. I'm sorry, but cockroaches, I mean, granted, we have tons here too, but I deal with those a lot more in, outside of the city, like bugs and everything, where that might not be our thing here. We don't have just random bugs outside.
Now, now, am I mistaken? And are you originally from Florida?
I am from Florida. The stupid palmetto bugs. I don't have to deal with that here. Worst. That's what I'm saying. You get used to it where you live, and I don't have to deal with it here. I'll take a rat over that.
Yeah, thumbs way down for the palmetto bugs. Rats don't fly.
Exactly.
So I'm totally fine with critters on ground level. It's when they can fly up into my face. It's when
Mm-hmm.
No, we're cutting that out.
It'll probably still stay.
No, don't cut it out of the podcast. I mean, we're just gonna get rid of them.
Yeah, there we go.
We're expecting cicada swarms this year, so that'll be fun.
I just saw an article about that too. I guess there's a certain like type that are coming out.
The 17-year cicadas, and apparently, now I've lived here all my life, and 17 years ago, I still lived in the city, but I don't remember there being swarms and swarms of cicadas. But apparently, the area I live at now is like, it's like cicada central because I'm near like a couple of big parks. So apparently they just swarm and fly across the road and
cool.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
I think it's awesome.
And you just walk and you just hear crunching beneath your feet because it's just
gross. Yeah, that's too much. No thanks.
Yeah, I don't remember cicadas ever until like maybe the past like 6-7 years. I feel like it's like some reverse Mandela effect thing where everyone's like, yeah, like every 17 years, like whatever, how many years they pop up. Like I have no recollection of any animals burrowing for years. And like, I'm sure if I was a kid and you told me that, I would remember that for my entire life.
Yeah, you would think so. I mean, I'm 39, so I should have gotten the 17-year cicadas at least once.
Yeah.
And apparently I did. I just don't remember it.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. It's like cicadas are crazy. What's the deal with cicadas?
Now, I do have a friend who will make jewelry out of their wings.
Whoa.
It takes the wings off of them and puts them in a resin and sterling silver like around the resin.
Wow, that's really crazy.
They're really great. They're really cool looking, but
you can only get them every 17 years.
Oh no, we've got there are like 5 and 10-year cicadas too, so they're always hopping around.
We did a bat walk one time in Prospect Park here, and there were so many cicadas out. It was so cool though, because it was just like crazy amounts of cicadas, just like the noise effect of walking through all the trees and at dusks, and then all the bats would start flying out of the trees ahead of us. It was really neat. Yeah, it was pretty cool. But that's the last time and probably the only time I remember cicadas.
Prospect Park is great thou I really liked Prospect Park.
It's so nice there.
But it's nice for me because it feels like home because we have like 7 Olmsted parks in Louisville, including 3 like really big ones that Frederick Law Olmsted did between Central Park and Prospect Park. So a lot of the design features that show up in those 2 parks are like echoed in the parks we have here, which is weird.
Oh, it's so neat.
But it was really cool experience for in both cases.
Yeah, that's really cool. You got a little bit of New York City in your own hometown.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So next up is the game that I feel like will probably cause the most dread for one of our guests at some point. Hopefully not you. It's called Did You Forget About It?
Yeah. Yeah. So this is where we are going to bring up random facts that we threw in to the podcast up to this point already and see if you forgot about it.
I guarantee you I did.
All right. So let's get to the first one. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
How many breweries are there currently in New York State?
302 or something. 300 something.
It was you're close. It's 320. You just
Okay.
mix the 2 and the 0 together. But yeah, very good. I feel like, you're close enough there.
You got it.
All right.
Some of them might have closed. We'll give me some credit.
Yeah.
It's been a tough year.
All the numbers were in there. You're good. The next one is, what is the population of Brooklyn?
Oh, It was like 3.1 million people.
Basically, it's over 3 million people. Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, good. See, look at your memory go. All right, here's the last one.
I'm as surprised as anyone.
What is the more common name of Interstate 278?
Oh, that's the BQE.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right.
I took one of my Uber or Lyft trips took me on there briefly. It's terrible.
That's how we get around. That's like our only way to get around, basically. Like where we're at is the BQE, or we go the other way around to Long Island. So the only way into the city is BQE for us, which is always exciting.
Yeah, it sounds like fun.
So that was it. Apparently you did not forget about it.
Yeah.
I'd like to commend you for. Thank you. We have one final round that we like to play, and it is called Inside Santa's Studio.
This will be fun.
All right. So pretty brief. Don't worry too much about it. More or less exactly like Inside the Actor Studio.
But are you going to do a James Lipton impression?
I consider doing it at first, but I feel like the music that I will underlie this with in post-production is enough.
That's fair.
And it also makes it so these videos are not monetizable because that song is copyrighted, but it's worth it because I like the song.
I mean, that's fair, but
I'm not going to make big bucks off of like the 20 people that are going to watch this. So here we go. Inside Santa's Studio. Ron, what's your favorite cookie?
White chocolate macadamia.
What's your least favorite cookie?
Those little frosted sugar cookies that are Loft House cookies that you get from like Walmart and cheap stores.
Got it. So you have a taste for the finer things in life. I appreciate that.
I even like those Loft House cookies, but I'll eat them if they're there, but I'm not going to buy them.
Gotcha. When do you start decorating for the holidays?
Black Friday.
When do you put your decorations away?
It depends on how seasonally depressed I'm going to be when I put my decorations away, but usually by like January 12th-ish.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They start to slowly go away after New Year's Day.
Right.
But, it depends on how lazy I'm feeling, if I want to take the tree down or if I even put a tree up. Although we now have a year-round holiday tree that we decorate for every holiday because we got one of those like plug-in light up ficuses or whatever, and we hang little ornaments on it and put little decorations on it.
Yeah.
Did you have a St. Patrick's Day tree last?
Yes, it's green and white. It's
Yay.
still St. Patrick's Day, green and white, and we've got little Target sells these little birds for $5, like this guy here.
Oh, I have those birds. Very familiar.
The Featherly Friends. I have this one on my desk because we have the same beard and
oh, nice.
But yeah, we've got a couple of St. Patrick's birds that have gone up there, and we have a Valentine's Day birds that were up there last month, and we have some fall and spring birds, and And
That's really sweet. That's always my goal is every year, like after Christmas, I put things away. It's like, okay, remember that you have this bunny dish in here for Easter. Remember you have this for this holiday. And then I don't see him again until like Halloween and go, oh yeah, I forgot to pull these things out for this holidays. I would love to decorate for each thing. I just,
well, your tip is, and this is my advice, is to do Christmas in July. If you have to
then you pull everything back out.
Yes, because we do Christmas in July with like Christmas pajamas and eggnog and make fancy Christmas meals. And the thing about that I like is it's the gateway to Halloween in April, which is and that means Thanksgiving in May, which is also Derby Day, which is a big deal here for obvious reasons.
Fun. So that's awesome.
Yeah,
I like that idea.
Yeah, last year we had a Thanksgiving meal at the end of May that led into our Christmas in June. Excuse me, that led into our Christmas in July.
That's so fun.
Yeah, I like that.
I do. I really like that too. Good tip.
You had to do things to get through quarantine, and we decided to.
I love that.
But we enjoyed Christmas in July and Thanksgiving in June so much that it's going to become a thing we're going to keep doing. So
awesome. Creating your own traditions all year round.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Any excuse to put the now 2-year-old in Christmas pajamas is a good one.
Oh yeah, I get that. Ours is still wearing his.
Yeah, our excuse is they still fit. So.
Yeah.
Well, we bought her Christmas pajamas when she was 1, and we got our Christmas pajamas when she was 2, and when they were on sale after Christmas, we got the 3-year-old size pajamas for next year from Hannah Anderson. She plugged for somebody who probably doesn't need it, but she makes great Christmas wear, and you can coordinate for the whole family.
We talked about doing that earlier in the year, so we didn't forget, or they weren't all sold out, because by Christmas time, everything's always sold out. So we talked about earlier in the year getting Christmas pajamas.
Well, July is a good time.
Yeah, there you go. You reminded me.
Moving on. What's your favorite festive word?
Oh, my favorite festive word. Giving it way too much thought. I'm not going to have a good answer. Just cut out that 15 seconds of awkward silence for me.
I have our little one's 100 Christmas words around here somewhere. A book he keeps bringing us. I could give you some ideas.
Probably jingle. I like jingle. It's almost an onomatopoeia to me because it kind of sounds like what it is.
Yeah, I like jingle too.
Yeah, and the first thing that one of the first like song I remember Maeve singing was Jingle Bells. So
that's sweet.
It was literally like the first song that like you could sing it to her and she would like stop being upset. So that's
a perfect festive word then.
There's nothing that is more festive than making a child stop crying.
Yes, that is absolutely correct.
So this question might bleed into that. What Christmas song do you love?
Ooh, yeah, Jingle Bells has become. It's not technically a Christmas song. I'm going to be one of those pedants. It's just a winter song, but I like it. But Christmas Baby Please Come Home is probably my favorite like actual Christmas song. Probably due to the, it's in Christmas Vacation and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is a good one. What Christmas song do you hate?
Christmas shoes. Just burn those Christmas shoes.
Yep, that's the second person to say that.
That song
so
is
funny.
the worst.
Yeah,
it makes a wonderful Christmas time look like Silent Night. It's just hot trash.
This is gonna be great. I hope everyone talks about Christmas shoes.
If you were an elf in Santa's workshop, what profession would you like to do?
Well, I'm not going to build anything with wood that's going to stand the test of time. So I will just do what I do with my day job and just be tech support.
That's great.
That's great.
I mean, if the beer didn't give it away that I do.
What profession would you not like to do?
As much as I like decorations, I hate decorating. So I would not like to be like climbing the ladder to hang lights. That's not. I don't like heights. I don't like enclosed spaces. So I'll scrap that job. I would clean out the reindeer stables well before I would have to climb like a 30-foot ladder to hang tinsel. So.
Noted. I wonder how often they decorate at the North Pole.
I would imagine that the stuff would have to fall down at some point.
They have some upkeep, I'm sure. You know, or like around Christmas, they go extra with it. You know, they put on a few more things up. You gotta celebrate the occasion, you know?
Yeah, the third strand of lights goes up, you know.
Yeah.
And so finally, if the North Pole exists, what would you like to hear Santa say when you arrive at the workshop?
You've been good enough. I'll take it.
That's really sweet.
That's awesome. Ron, can you do us a favor and tell everyone listening where they can find you if they want to hear more?
Yes, you can find me at filmstrippodcast.com, or you can read my writing at denofgeek.com. I have the occasional piece up on filmstories.com. So you can check me out at all those places, especially Den of Geek. I'm always there, especially every time they roll out a new Walking Dead spinoff, I'll be writing about it in some form or fashion. So definitely check me out there, and definitely check me out on Filmstrip. I'll be taking the show over as the new full-time host in April. So that's very exciting and intimidating and scary, but let's hope I just don't crash it into the ground immediately.
You're gonna do great. That's really exciting. Congrats.
I'm very excited. The editing part I'm not crazy about, but I'll learn.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did a whole episode last week that I just decided I would rather not even edit it, so I don't even think we're going to end up using it. So we're going to do another episode probably tomorrow. Because the idea was to release it before St. Patrick's Day, and so a lot of it's talking about it, like it's like happy almost St. Patrick's Day, and then now it's already passed. So
well, I'm recording a thing on Leprechaun with Tom and Anthony of Tis the Podcast that we were supposed to do before St. Patrick's Day, but now we're doing, I think, this weekend.
Yeah,
still pretty close.
I mean, we used to have our parade. The St. Patrick's Day parade in our neighborhood doesn't usually happen until I think like the 24th or so, like 24th or 26th, somewhere around there. So,
that's fair.
Just celebrating it all month long. You're doing the same thing. It's okay.
You can drink green beer and throw up anytime.
Come on. It's great. Festive.
Well, thank you so much, Ron, for coming on. We appreciate it. You were an amazing guest. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Really, really, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I'll save my self-deprecating comment about I could have been that amazing.
Definitely top 3 so far.
Good enough.
Thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me.
So I'll cut somewhere here. Let me get my thing back on.